Hi everyone, it is Wednesday, January 13th, 2016, and this is episode 52 of Serenova Crafts. I'm your host, Jessica. I can be found as Serenova on Ravelry and Twitter, and as Serenova_Phoenix on Instagram. The show notes for today's episode can be found on my blog or in my Ravelry group. Both are listed in the credits. I don't have anybody new to thank for joining on Ravelry, but I do have quite a few people on YouTube. So there's a little bit of a list here, I think. I have a lot of emails that I need to go through. Marina Bath, Isella Queller, I'm sorry if I'm slaughtering how you pronounce your names. And that's it, actually, just the two, but thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you're new, thank you for watching. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Feel free to join the Ravelry group. I give away stuff every month. Actually, I have a giveaway to do later that I'm going to talk about. I'm very excited about it. Yay. Very excited. I am recording later today than normal because I did have to take a friend to emergency care this morning, and then I had to go shovel my mom's driveway. So now I am showered to warm back up from shoveling lots of snow, and I'm recording my podcast. I do have a finished object and lots of whips. Also was very sick last week, so if you watched last week's less than 10-minute episode, I was very sick. I ended up going to see my doctor on Friday. Now, I didn't see my actual primary care, but the nurse practitioner who works with her was available. And so I saw her, and she's like, you either have strep throat or walking pneumonia. And apparently the initial treatment for both of those is to prescribe Z-Pak or azithromycin. It's a very strong antibiotic. And she's like, well, considering that I would prescribe you this antibiotic either way, and that there's no real sense in doing more tests unless you don't get better on the antibiotic, I'm just going to prescribe it to you. I'm like, okay. You're not doing a throat culture, which makes me gag. Oh, there goes the cat. You just missed her in the background. Throat cultures make me gag, and I don't have to do a chest x-ray, so you know what? I'm happy with this. And of course, considering I'm talking to you today, and I am my normal self, the Z-Pak worked, so I'm quite happy about that. I was basically back to myself on Monday, but I'm still getting tired a little easily, and I have lots of congestion. Like, my sinuses are packed. It's not fun. But I'm on the mend. I'm doing a lot better than last week, and today's episode will definitely be longer than 10 minutes. So that's a good thing, right? So, the one finished object I have for you is a hat. And it is, there we go. And it is Police Box. This is by, I didn't look it up. I should have totally looked this up. I did not look this up. I am an idiot. I don't know why I didn't look this up. This is a design by one of our featured designers for winter camp. Which is why I did it, because you get bonus points for knitting stuff from our featured designers. So this is by Emily Matiz, M-A-T-I-S-Z, and it is called the TARDIS Toque. I'm calling it the Police Box hat, but it is the TARDIS Toque, and it's supposed to be a fitted hat. So my hair's wet, but you know, here we go, it fits, and I can pull it down over my ears, so you can see that it does fit. It is a tight beanie. Well, not completely tight, but tight enough. You know, it's like a beanie, but she calls it a toque. So that's how that works. It's blue, so I get bonus points for that. It's a hat, I get bonus points for that. And it's a featured designer, so I got the trifecta of bonus points. Which is the whole reason I knit this hat, was the trifecta of bonus points. I have a shawl I'm also going to knit, for February, which will be a point trifecta. And I have a pair of socks I am going to knit for March that will be a point trifecta. I have trifectas every month. But I'll get to those when I get to those. So, this is my finished object. It's not blocked yet, but it's done in every other way. It's done. And whips. I've actually done some, because you get points for doing, like, blanket squares and stuff, so I'm keeping, I actually put these in a baggie, and it says, Winter Camp 2016, January to March, and it's all the hexapuffs I'm making during camp. So, I've made 3 so far. I've made 3 hexapuffs here. 3. And these are minis I got through a swap group that's on Ravelry and Facebook. But 5 gram minis are enough for me to get 1 hexa puff, and maybe 1 or 2 squares on my blanket. So, where there are stitch markers, so here, here, and here is where I was before camp started. So, and I'm out of focus. It's in focus there. My autofocus did this to me a couple of weeks ago too. It like wouldn't focus on me. There we go. I'm in focus now. Yay! I fiddled with the focus myself. So, here, here, and this purple one were all knit before, sorry, I got a Facebook message. Were all knit before winter camp. So I marked those because the rows across, if I'm going across, anything beyond those is winter camp. So, I added this brown and gray one. These are all basically unknown yarns. Well, I know what this one is, but I'll tell you that in a minute. And then these two are actually the same yarn. So I managed to get, this was a heavy, it was more than 5 grams. So I got a hexapuff and 3, well, I got 3 things out of it. I got a hexapuff and 2 blanket squares out of it. So that's pretty good, right? And I split them up so you won't really tell in the finished blanket. And then, this one was a Zen Garden, actually. I think. Zen Garden, Zen Yarns, one of the two. It was, I'm actually keeping a chart in my Google Drive that says what all of the blocks of my blanket are. So I'm actually looking it up so I can tell you. Because, this one actually has the color. It is Zen Yarn Garden in Art Walk. And this is from a woman in St. Paul, Minnesota. So, ta-da! So that's that one. So there we go. And so that is that. I did those. And everything else I had, like, in stash and stuff. So, but I got 1 point for each of those, so I got 7 points. So I've been working on my Time Traveler socks. You can see I've put a bit on them since you last saw them, because when you last saw them, I was at the marker. And now I've done all of that. I'm actually onto the yellow again. Now, I have decided that I'm going to use a contrasting color for the heel. I have some, I have plenty of leftover soft yarn that I think would match, especially if I use a darker solid color. So I'm going to do my heels in a contrasting color, so that I do not break the stripe progression on the front of the sock. And I'm planning to start these in the exact same place so they match. Now, I need to move some stuff to show you my next whip, because it's kind of got buried on the desk here because I'm just leaving it out and about, and yeah. So, I started the Stonecutter pullover. It's a pullover sweater, and it is by Brooklyn Tweed? Brooklyn Tweed? I think so, yes. It is, I'm pulling it up because on my Ravelry because I have the computer open. Michelle Wang, and it's published through, Brooklyn Tweed. And it's originally knit, the suggested yarn is Brooklyn Tweed Shelter. I, however, am using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Worsted Superwash. Here it is. So I have done about, where's my marker? I've done that much since last week. So, and like all of this up to the marker was the setup chart. It was like setup. Was like, so the ribbing, and then this was the setup chart, and then, I start the thing. So I'm doing good. I actually have these on stripes. But the cabling's coming out really good. I'm happy with it, and it's actually standing out nicely on the, it's actually a better, the color's more accurate back here. I'm liking how the cables are standing out on the Wool of the Andes, and even if I pull it, you can still, the cables are still good. So I'm quite happy with this. Oh, I just dropped a stitch. Oh no! There we go. Thanks. So this is good. That's sweater number 1 I'm working on. And sweater number 2 is over here. This is another dark Mockingjay, which is that striped sweater I made with the rainbow stripes. And I have about, how many rows do I have left? I am on 17 out of 20 increased repeats, so I have 6 rows left before I separate for the sleeves. So, 6 rows left, and I'll separate for the sleeves. I'll actually probably do that by the end of today. But I was not working on the sweater while I was taking my friend to the emergency care, so I was working on something else. So, sweater. And I haven't put much on it. I did not knit for like 3 or 4 days when I was sick. I honestly don't remember, so there's only a couple inches on this, only like 1.5 inches on that. But now that I am not sick, this is going to move a lot faster. Just because I'm not working again. I don't have a job. And then lastly, I decided at like 10:30 last night I wanted to knit another hat, and I wanted to knit a cabled hat. So I went digging through my library on Ravelry, which is over 3,500 patterns because I am insane. And I found the Agathis pattern. I actually printed it out, so here it is, Agathis. And it is by Agatha Smektata, copyright 2015. But it's a worsted weight cabled hat, and I started knitting it. So I'm on the brim. Haven't really gotten real far, because I started it at 10:30 last night. And I was working on it today while I took my friend to emergency care. So you can see the start of the cables. And so this is this is Rowan Pure Wool Worsted in the Rust colorway. I bought this to use for a baby blanket. Realized I had a crap ton of orange in stash from my grandmother that I could make this baby blanket out of for my cousin's kid. So I'm like, I'm going to use that. And so I did. And then I'm like, well, what am I going to do with this one skein of thing? Oh, hey, a hat, because it's a 100-gram skein, so I can totally get a hat out of this. Because how much does it say you need? I mean, it says, 200 meters, 218 yards, or 100 grams, of wool. And, the yarn they used in the pattern was a wool acrylic blend, but I'm just using all wool because I have it. So why not, right? Because it's 100% wool, and I think it's superwash? I'm not sure. It's 219 yards, so it's not going to be a slouchy hat. It's going to be fitted like the TARS tube. I don't remember if it's superwash. Yep, superwash. So, that is what I have been working on. Winter camp has actually been going really well. My cabin is up to almost 2,000 points. Yay. I actually have a spreadsheet that I'm tracking everybody's info with, and it's a little crazy, but, gotta keep track of everyone somehow, and I feel like I'm being a nag with messaging people going, you did it wrong, but at the same time, well, they did it wrong, and I want them to do it right, and so I'm correcting them, and I'm trying to be nice and do it gently, but, it's just not happening. But, I have, this cast-on urge, and I'm like, no, must not cast on all the things. Because I'm limiting myself to 10 whips. And right now, I think I'm at 8. So, I could theoretically cast on 2 things, but, I really don't want to. I don't need 10 whips. Granted, 2 of them are scrap projects. They're the beekeeper quilt and the mitered square blanket. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I have 8 whips. And I'm like, I don't need 10. I want to keep it to less than 2 digits. So I could cast on 1 more thing. But, and, I actually printed out, where'd they go? I cleaned, I'm cleaning, if you don't notice that this pile is shorter from last week, I cleaned. I actually want to do, shawl design. So, there's this tutorial you can download for free, it's listed on Ravelry, 5 basic shawl shapes, and it tells you how to do the increases for all of them. And so, I want to do a triangular shawl with, some detail on the inside. So, I am planning to work it up. And actually, I have this Mad Tosh. So I wanted to be like a one-skein project. I have this Mad Tosh that I tried to make socks out of, and I wasn't liking it. But it's a gorgeous purpley red, and I absolutely adore it. And I'm like, I want to do this. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to attempt to design a shawl. So, we shall see. But speaking of designing, here's where we get to the good stuff. I released my first paid pattern on Ravelry yesterday. Yep, the goodbye pattern that I made, and it's on Ravelry, and I'm happy. It is on sale for the first week for $2 off. I'm selling it for $5. You can get it for $3 for the first week. I've already had 20 people. Well, okay, I gave away a few. To the other camp leaders in winter camp and to a couple people I know here in town where I live. So I gifted a few, but, like, I gifted, like, a half dozen. So everything else has been sales, and I'm really happy about that. And, like, I'm kind of doing it for the money, and I'm kind of not doing it for the money. Because I'm interested in designing, I'm interested in knitting my own things, I'm interested in making up my own patterns. And, hey, making money is great, so you know what? If I can totally make some money on the side while I do something I already kind of want to do anyways, great. So, but that brings us to the fact that I'm going to give away a copy. So, 2 weeks I will open a thread in my Ravelry group, and you need to be a member of the group to be eligible. So what you're going to have to do is go to the thread in the Ravelry group, and I will think of a question to ask in the first thread. And if I already gave you a pattern, please don't enter, because what's the point? I already gave you a pattern, right? Like Sue, Lynn, hi. I gave you guys patterns, don't enter, there's no point, I gave it to you. Anyone I gave a pattern, don't bother, because you already have a pattern, right? But anyways, I will think of a question, and you will have to answer the question to get an entry, and then in 2 weeks, on the 27th, I will do a draw, and whoever I draw shall win a copy of my pattern. So you know what it is, because I haven't told you what my pattern is, because I'm an idiot, I've been talking about, right? It's a scarf pattern, but it's also a stole. I included the numbers for the stole, and this is it, this scarf that I showed you a couple of weeks ago. I finally got it up for sale, so if you want to knit this scarf, you can go get the pattern. Or if you want to enter the contest to attempt to win the pattern, you can do that too. And actually, this scarf is going to be a sample and go live at my local shop for a while, because my local shop sells the yarn that I knit this out of, so why not? It can go be a sample. Because the pattern is now available. So this is my pattern. I called it Lilac Leaves, and I'm actually, as of my recording right now, if you go to patterns and you go to knitting, and then you select hot right now, like if you're doing a pattern search on Ravelry and you do hot right now, I'm out of focus again, sorry. I need to get myself in focus, this is annoying. Like, this is really annoying. There we go. I don't know why it won't refocus on me after I hold stuff up. But if you go to the hot right now on like knitting patterns, I'm on the first page! I'm on the first page! It makes me so happy. This is the first thing I've ever, like, I mean, I have a free pattern up, but it's a recipe. Oh, you can see the kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. There's kitty. Cokie. Hi, Cokie. There's a kitty. I got distracted by my own cat. Oh my, but anyways, you will have 2 weeks to enter to win in my Ravelry group, and Sue from Two Tangled Skeins, Sue and Lynn of Two Tangled Skeins are also doing a giveaway, and Sarah of the Canadian Knitter are doing giveaways as well, and theirs will start this weekend. They will run for 2 weeks. So if you want to go enter theirs as well, once they've posted their episodes this coming weekend, feel free. You can go do that. I don't mind having 3 giveaways at the same time. That's totally cool. And then I might have a couple more giveaways on a couple more podcasts after this, because, you know, exposure's good, right? So, I think I've run out of things to talk about. I have a VKN tomorrow night. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is -5 Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. Yeah, so I have a thread for that. I tag people, but if you're not tagged, feel free to come. If you're in my camp for winter camp and you want to come hang out, feel free, totally welcome. And maybe I will have finished a hat by next week. I will not have finished a sweater. I'm not that quick. I'm not Selma. Sorry, you don't know who Selma is, but, Selma's sometimes co-host on Two Tangled Skeins. And she whips up sweaters like that. But, I am not that fast of a knitter, and plus I'm knitting 2 sweaters at the same time, and I'm alternating days. Today is a Dark Mockingjay day, and yesterday was a Stonecutter day. So, you know. God, that's in the frame if I do that. That's what's going on. So, speaking of VKN, last night, I was in the middle of a sentence, right? And I saw that Lynn was holding up her cat, and I was like, blah, 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 oh my god, a kitty! Blah, 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 blah. Like, literally, I interrupted my sentence. And we all just cracked up. And I didn't even realize I'd done it until they said something after I finished my sentence, and then I started laughing too, because I'm like, oh my god, I cannot believe I just did that. Because I was just like, blah, 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 whatever I was saying, I don't remember, ooh, kitty! And then I just, like, kept talking. So anyways, I could keep rambling on, but I'm not going to because there's no point. I don't have any more to talk about. I've been cleaning. I found my cross-stitch project, so maybe I will have worked on that by next week. I have my loom back. Loom. That's my loom. It's in a bag. Don't have anything on it at the moment. And my spinning wheel's actually under the table over here. You can kind of see my spinning wheel. But I haven't spun anything in ages because I was sick. So, being sick this past week, like, completely took the wind out of my sails. Like, I was just, oh. But anyways, I think that's it, and I think I'm done. So, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Last week was my podiversary. I wish I could have done something last week, but I was so sick that, like, it was just the worst timing ever. But, yeah, I'm happy about that. I've been doing this for a year now. This is episode 52. Oh my god, like, that's a full year of shows. Well, one a week, but still, a lot of shows. And I hope to be doing this for more years to come. You know, here's to, 104. Here's to 104 episodes. So I will see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye!